Welcome to the happy part of dentistry. I absolutely love the fact that people think that pediatric dentistry is a problem. Actually, I support that idea because it has supported my practice for many, many years. And for those of you who think that I'm just overly optimistic, I just have to say you should dive into pediatric dentistry and find out for yourself. In 1975, when I applied for my pediatric residency at UCSF, pediatric dentistry was the least favorite specialty in dentistry. I tell people that I applied to my program that had 2 openings, and the total number of applicants were 3. Nowadays, I understand that it is the most in-demand specialty in terms of numbers of people that are trying to get into it. When I was back in 1975, I tell my audiences the only people going into pediatric dentistry at that time were either passionate or crazy, and I will let you decide which category I fall into. So today, we're going to dive into a number of topics that I hope will be fun and interesting for you, and we're going to begin with the state of the art of pediatric dentistry. Now, what is the state of art of pediatric dentistry today? Well, it is really, really different than it was in 1975 when I got my specialty training. As a matter of fact, it's quite different than it was 5 years ago. So we're going to talk about, first of all, a disclosure. I feel it's important to disclose the following, that I retired from private practice about 6 years ago, although I was called out of retirement to sub for one of the owners of my former practice, and I found that things had not really changed that much in my former practice. So I want you to know that I have had to do my own CE trip in order to prepare for this CE presentation, because I'm going to be showing you a number of things that have happened in the field of pediatric dentistry that, quite frankly, I have not done myself. Some of the things I have, some of the things I have not. So I want to acknowledge the fact that these 10 dentists, Dr. Paul Bond, Ann Bynum, Matty DiPaolo, Andrea Gamble, Martha Hardaway, Graham Hurd, Dusty Jansen, Hubert Park, Jessica Robertson, and Patricia Robus have been very, very helpful to me in terms of assembling a program about what is the state of the art. Now, the last thing that I want to say is I will be discussing all the new developments. I will quickly add here that I'm not always enthusiastic about all of the developments. I'm somewhat, I don't want to call myself an old dog, but I do want to say that with my many years of experience, 49 years as a pediatric dentist, I find that many of the tried and true techniques are still very, very effective.
May I interrupt you there?
Of course.
I feel absolutely the same way. As I look back over my many years of practice, I see many of the older procedures lasting. I had a woman in just the other day who had 47 years on her cast gold restorations. I'm not negative about the new things. However, are these new things going to last as long? And by the way, there are 2 of our mentors on with us today. Mike LeBlanc from Louisiana and right in Utah, Ward Krieger. These guys will be interrupting Greg from time to time, as I will, asking questions that I know you will have. So let's do it again.
Well, when I met the 2 gentlemen at the beginning of the program, I told them, as a pediatric dentist, I'm actually quite accustomed to being interrupted. So don't worry if you interrupt me. That just goes with the territory. So